Hey everyone, and welcome back to All About AI Tech. Today, we're diving headfirst into a story that's been making waves across the tech world, DeepSeek. This Chinese AI startup has not only produced a language model that rivals the giants like OpenAI, but it did so while completely upending the established rules of the game. Imagine a competitor capable of going toe-to-toe with ChatGPT, for example, but trained with significantly less compute, energy, and cost, and then released under an open-source MIT license. Unbelievable, right? I mean, that's a total game changer. We're looking at a situation where a company with access to significantly less advanced computer chips built an AI assistant that is not only as good but is in some ways better than OpenAI. It's a seismic event in AI, folks. It really calls into question everything we thought we knew about the necessary processes to build superintelligence. Let's explore what's so remarkable about DeepSeek and where it leaves the future of the industry. Are we looking at the start of a huge shakeup or just a short blip on the radar? Let's delve in and find out. The star of the show is DeepSeek's R1 model. This isn't just another chatbot. R1 is unique, in fact, and it goes beyond all the other systems out there simply due to one thing. It's designed to show you why it arrived at the answer it gives you. I mean, think about that for a second. It doesn't just give you the result. It explains how it got there. That might sound trivial, but it's actually huge when considering how to use AI for things like education or critical decision-making in areas such as healthcare, for instance. Imagine teaching kids with this tech. You could build an AI tutor that shows its reasoning process. That's a game changer. What's more, when it comes to solving problems, according to various industry benchmarks, it actually outperforms even some of the most powerful models on the market, like OpenAI's O1. This is where things get especially interesting. R1 can do things like generate code, solve complex mathematical problems, and demonstrate a deep understanding of general knowledge. That's an impressive list of tasks. But the real eye-opener is how it accomplishes all of that for a fraction of the cost of training other rival systems. We're talking a massive difference here, literally orders of magnitude less. Now, you'll want to be aware that some industry insiders are suggesting there might be a touch of creative accounting going on over there in China. We have some very reliable sources indicating DeepSeek's claims have been exaggerated, perhaps significantly. But whether or not DeepSeek has been entirely transparent so far about their methods, what is unambiguous is this. R1's performance is impressive. I think we'll be hearing more about this fascinating and unique approach over the next few months and years. Another thing that makes DeepSeek stand out is its open-source nature, my friends. This isn't a closed corporate project with all the usual costs and restrictions. No. DeepSeek has released a considerable amount of its code under a permissive MIT license, available under GitHub. That means anyone can download this software, modify it, and even retrain it. This is a major departure from the way OpenAI has been working. OpenAI keeps the details of most of its model training a closely guarded secret and uses restrictive commercial licenses to limit access to its technologies and safeguard the profits pouring into the startup. Meta has done something similar with its Llama models, although in a much more limited way. If you want open access to the newest and fanciest AI, you can't look any further. That's the most exciting news I've seen in the AI sector in years, folks, and a total paradigm shift in AI. This approach enables the global AI developer community to jump in, contribute to innovation, and create new products based on the core technology. That's a real boon for those who want to customize cutting-edge AI or get around the costs and restrictions of proprietary systems. You can essentially take the model code as it comes and do with it whatever you want. Think about that for a minute. Open source means that not only its performance, but also its safety can be scrutinized by the greatest number of people possible. This is what many people have argued would produce the safest AI systems possible. This level of transparency and customization could easily lead to all kinds of new innovations and applications we can't even imagine yet. Open source models can be hosted locally, as well, which brings significant improvements when it comes to data security and privacy. Now, let's talk about cost. This is where things get really wild. DeepSeek claims to have trained its model for about $6 million, with only 2,000 last-generation NVIDIA H800 GPUs. Again, wow. That's practically pocket change when you compare that to the estimated $60 million reportedly spent training Meta's Llama, let alone the billions Microsoft has invested into OpenAI. Remember that figure from last year, that even the then outgoing administration's top security official, Jake Sullivan, cited as evidence that AI was the most important thing happening in the world today? That's a lot of money. And while there's certainly hope for it being a good investment, no one is certain just yet. What makes this even more astonishing is that it seems some of the training for DeepSeek's model involved acquiring thousands of NVIDIA H800 GPUs under the radar before the U.S. Biden administration imposed export controls to stop this very situation. By demonstrating that high-performing AI doesn't require an enormous amount of compute power, DeepSeek suggests that we may have to rethink the entire financial model of AI development. There's a real argument to be made that by having made its approach open source, it not only reduced the financial costs of producing this model, but also its environmental impact, which has been a major worry for a lot of industry experts. Perhaps more intriguingly, this level of efficiency could reshape how future AI technology is developed, creating more accessible and more sustainable AI solutions than ever before. We're talking a genuinely more just AI ecosystem, which is something we should all be supporting wholeheartedly. The impact of this has created a lot of fallout, as its release sent shockwaves through the financial world. Tech stocks plunged, particularly in the semiconductor sector when news of DeepSeek's R1 broke. NVIDIA, for example, the biggest supplier of advanced GPUs, witnessed a massive single-day drop in share prices of some 17%, the largest single-day market cap loss in history, wiping out nearly $600 billion in market value. Other big tech companies like Microsoft and Alphabet also felt the pinch with significant drops in their valuation. What's going on? Well, investors are starting to wake up to the fact that the vast sums being currently poured into training high-performance AI might be unnecessary. DeepSeek has shown you don't need billions of dollars or enormous infrastructure to develop leading and highly competitive language models. That would make these current high-performance AI investments an entirely unprofitable gamble, and investors and analysts are starting to seriously consider what their own companies are doing now that there is a fully competitive, cheap, and easily customized alternative on the market. In the very short term, this may mean another round of rapid price cuts to retain market share, followed by an aggressive effort to produce newer and more advanced models. And when it comes to developing these newer models, some of the biggest AI labs may shift their development strategy completely and copy the approaches taken by DeepSeek and other companies that have shown impressive efficiency. In the longer term, the changes may be far more profound. It may even mean a far different approach to how AI is regulated and developed across the next few years. And let's not forget the geopolitical angle. DeepSeek's success is a major moment in the U.S.-China tech rivalry. For years, the U.S. has been trying to limit China's access to advanced semiconductors and AI technology, in part using sanctions specifically intended to prevent China from making rapid advances in such a crucial sector. But DeepSeek has seemingly managed to train its AI models with relatively low-spec chips, with the resulting performance coming in strongly under benchmarks that rival OpenAI and other U.S. models. And that's a powerful flex. That says a lot about what's possible with innovation despite limitations, and about how China is continuing to invest in and build its own technological capabilities. This situation will have a big impact on Washington's policy decisions in the coming months and years. American legislators have been keen on expressing concern over China's tech advancements, but the emergence of DeepSeek is highlighting just how effective these current measures are at actually constraining China's progress, or perhaps, whether the entire process has been ineffective and has in fact incentivized innovation. Expect to see some fierce debate over this development in Washington and over how to adjust America's strategy in dealing with competitors in the AI sector. At this point, there's a very real question to be asked whether sanctions will help or hinder innovation, not just in China but in the US too. Naturally, OpenAI and other American AI labs haven't been sitting idly by either, my friends. There has already been a noticeable shift in the overall conversation around the tech. OpenAI CEO, Sam Altman, for instance, has publicly acknowledged DeepSeek's achievements and has made comments to social media expressing confidence OpenAI will continue to come up with new and more valuable models. He emphasized the need for increased computing power. It certainly has been invigorating in the markets also. It's quite a surprise after OpenAI's recent fundraising round of $6.6 billion secured a valuation for OpenAI of around $157 billion. That is still only a fraction of NVIDIA's valuation, but it is still a pretty significant amount of funding. Enough, at least, to keep the company going while it scrambles to respond to DeepSeek. Altman has pledged that OpenAI will be releasing new and even more advanced LLMs and AI services over the coming months, and I suspect we'll be seeing a rush of new models coming out of OpenAI's labs over this next year. Just to recap, this new model from DeepSeek has triggered some intense market movements. This makes it imperative for companies like OpenAI to stay competitive through innovation and new technology. I also suspect we'll be hearing more calls for greater government support for R&D investments, more emphasis on streamlining AI production, and likely significantly more discussion over how to address the rapid shift in AI economics and the impact AI models will have on how work is viewed and done, particularly as the number of jobs open in AI continues to grow at a pace that requires rapid, if unplanned for, workforce expansion. So, where do we go from here? DeepSeek R1 has undeniably changed the AI game, offering a powerful, affordable, and customizable alternative to the established players. The implications are far-reaching, impacting everything from market valuations and investment strategies to the broader geopolitical landscape. For now, I'd advise checking out the DeepSeek app today and testing out the software and seeing this paradigm shift in action yourself. It's free, but registration may suffer delays due to its current popularity. We've discussed some of DeepSeek's limitations, such as having limited access to certain services and the limitations in what questions it will answer. You may still want to depend on ChatGPT or other services for certain key tasks, at least until DeepSeek's offering matures, but it's undoubtedly impressive at a remarkably low cost. And in considering the future of the AI community, there's a very real question whether open source can become the new industry standard for large language models. Time will tell whether DeepSeek will be a mere blip in the AI landscape or whether today marks the start of a new era of AI, where leading AI models that push past the previous limitations of LLM are trained at a fraction of the costs and are readily available to use without having to pay recurring subscriptions. But what's clear is that the excitement and momentum around this company and technology are not going away anytime soon. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe to All About AI Tech for more insightful explorations into the world of AI. And let me know in the comments what you think about this new challenger and the future of the AI industry.